Hi, my name is Matthew Durham. I've been here in Orlando for about the last 23 years. I started doing magic when I was about 15 years old. I was originally a stand-up comedian, but then I got interested into magic because I couldn't really sleep at night. And I used to take a bunch of medications for that, and I stopped doing that, so I needed to get a hobby while I wasn't sleeping. So I started to learn how to throw cards in the air and started to learn how to make them disappear and reappear, and then I eventually started working in a magic shop. When I worked in this magic shop, I got a plethora of magicians to teach me how to do what I did, and I started getting better and better, and then I started doing magic, and I started doing juggling, and I started getting on unicycles, and then I started hanging out with street performers, and I started doing more fire eating and more stunts and things like that. My magical inspirations, I really got to say, like, people like Michael Finney were my magic inspirations, because he was just total comedy. He could do an hour of comedy and then he could do an hour of magic right after. Rick Moretta, I believe is his name. Rick Moretta. He was a great stand-up magician as well. Another inspiration of magic, of course, is David Copperfield. I think that as flamboyant as the guy could be, he was a great inspiration. He had such a stage presence, and I always wanted to have something like that where when I walked on stage, people immediately knew what I was coming out to do. And I thought that was actually a really cool part of magic. I thought that was instantly cool that people would like stare at somebody and they would be like, man, this guy has it right down on the pat. Another inspiration I had in magic was David Blaine, and it wasn't really mainly his magic that captured me. It was his showmanship. It was amazing showmanship. I just couldn't believe that somebody could walk up on a street and make somebody believe that he was this absolute black magic wizard. I thought that was cool. Not that that's my style. I'm more zany and I'm jumpy and I'm bouncy, but I really do like to have that effect on people when I come out and do it, and I really do like to have that effect where when I do pull out a deck of cards, people are going to be like, man, this guy's ready to blow my mind. Or when I pull out a bottle of water, this guy's going to do something crazy with a bottle of water, I always thought that like guerrilla magic was really cool, where you could just pick up anything and do something with it. All right, well, I think magic and poetry actually have a lot in common, because when you do magic, you're not just a performer, you're a storyteller. And just like a poet, you're a storyteller, and you have to paint a picture in people's head while you're doing a trick in order to get the best effect out of your trick. Same thing with poetry. You do have to do the same thing. You have to be able to have people picture what's going on while you're telling that story. And you have to have a flow to everything, and that's what magic and poetry also share. They both have a flow. They both have to have a certain type of flow, and if you don't have that, it's not going to bring out the most potential that you can have in your actual act or poem or so on and so forth. My name is Matthew Durham. I'm here with Conjurers of Composition, and you can find us on Twitter at Magic Poets.